Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session of our Government Operations Fiscal Policy and Public Safety Committee meetings. We have two items on our agenda this morning. One is a supplemental appropriations regarding COVID booster vaccinations, and the other is a continued conversation regarding the CIP on technology services. We'll kick it off right away unless my colleague has any comments. Let's go. Ms. Frog, do you want to take us through the first item?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. This is a supplemental appropriation associated with the collective bargaining agreement with career firefighters, IAFF local union. It's for $134,190, and it will fund the availability and provision of COVID boosters at the Fire and Rescue Occupational Medical Services site, which is on site at county location, also known as FROMS. The cost of these dose vaccines are $135 per dose, and they have 994 doses, assuming an 80% take-up rate on the vaccinations. The doses are single-use syringes, so there should be minimal additional costs for supplies. This supplemental appropriation is for FY24, but the same amount is built into the recommended FY25 operating budget for the fire department. The racial equity impact assessment is attached for your review. They indicated that they would be unable to determine the effect that this supplemental appropriation may have on advancing racial equity and social justice in the county. And again, I'm not an epidemiologist, so I don't know, which way goes which. There are studies that show both, whether or not this provides a preventive effect to the residents or not. I will state, from my perspective, is that the higher level of immunization you have, it's associated with less sick leave, which means more employee availability to work and provide services to the community. I am recommending approval as submitted by the executive.
Great, thank you. Anything to add? No? Susan did it? Okay. Well, thank you for being here today. Appreciate this. And Ms. Frog, thank you for clarifying. This is already built into the FY25 budget, because that was one question I have. And just to build on the comments you were just making, I think the more we make it easier for people to get their vaccines, the more likely they're going to do it. It's just all these different things with COVID, flu, and other things, having them easily accessible for our employees, I think, is really important. So thank you for bringing this to us today. Does anybody have any? Councilmember Lukey?
Thank you. And I had asked this, and I think Chief Richard, you and Susan have spoken, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. Making the vaccinations easier for everyone to get is ideal. But the question I had was, and I know that this is built into the collective bargaining agreement, so gonna approve it. My question is, for moving forward in future collective bargaining agreements, whether this is the appropriate mechanism by which to achieve the goal, right? Because if as part of the collective bargaining agreements, everybody's being provided with the option for their employer-based health care, and you can have the vaccines administered on site, because like I used to do that at the state, right? For the Office of the Attorney General, I'd organize multiple dates where we'd have the pharmacist from CVS come over. Everybody just went through like an assembly line, right? Get your flu shot. But that was done through their insurance. And so questioning whether if it wasn't broken out as a separate thing, distinctly to be paid for out of this other fund, whether that would leave you with funds to do other things with, as opposed to allocating it to this when there is an insurance benefit provided. Could one of you speak to that?
I would. This is Rachel Silverman with the Office of Management and Budget. We are self-insured, so it's it's a choice of which hand, I think, which pocket to pay out of.
Under the self-insurance framework, though, does it charge you a line item the way this is calculated, or is it done in a different way?
I would have to get back to you. I have a feeling it's likely done in a different way, but I don't know that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that the person would have to file their own through their own insurance claim. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. In that, again, when we did this at the OAG, people would just fill out their information with their health insurance card, and that was it. So they didn't have to process a claim separately. They just simply turned it in at the time they were vaccinated.
I believe that because this is a negotiated item, that
Yeah, it has
may
to be
not-
approved, and I'm not disputing that. I'm just talking about down the road, if there's a way to do it differently, if we understand better the mechanisms by which this is done, then that may be an alternative as to how it could be placed or phrased within a future collective bargaining agreement.
So I certainly do think
Yep.
that that's something that we could consider.
Yep.
Something we could look into.
Okay, thank you.
I think we hit on that. It's negotiated, we need to do it, and the people who are negotiating have to figure out how they're going to do this for the future, but what is in front of us needs to be approved, so, thank you.
Not seeing any objections and knowing we have to do this because it's been negotiated in the collective bargaining agreement, I think both committees recommend moving this forward to the full council recommendation. Thank you for coming over today. It's good to see you again. All right, we will now move to our next item. I think Dr. Torregas is coming up, and I don't know why just lost my mouse. Okay. Great. This is a continued conversation we're having on CIP general government, technology services, particularly regarding the IT projects for public safety. We wanted to continue this conversation from the last time. We had forwarded some questions that we had for folks regarding the scope of the project, the data capabilities, since operations staff, as well as policymakers, we've talked about this need for demographic data and integration capabilities were some of the questions that came up the last time folks were here. And so I know Dr. Torregas or Ms. Rogg, if you want to take the lead on this.
Sure. This is an arrest and booking system located in corrections. It's had a complicated history, and last year it was placed in the CIP as a new project to determine whether or not there was a commercial off-the-shelf system that could provide the functionality that they needed, or whether or not TEBS would build something in-house. There apparently is not anything on the market right now that really meets their needs, so TEBS is looking at this and providing security updates for the system now. I'd like to turn it over to Ms. Henderson to get more of a status update of where it is. But as you mentioned, what are the present and future capabilities as far as interoperability with the police system if and when they get a new records management system, just so that policymakers and operations people can better look at the demographic breakdown to see whether or not there are places they need to address or have the ability to address equity issues as they move through, as justice involved people move through what are really functionally different systems in the criminal justice system.
Good morning. Glad to be here this morning. I'm Lisa Henderson, Program Director for the Integrated Justice Information Systems and TEBS. I wanted to give some information on the solution called CRIMS, which stands for Correction Rehabilitation Information Management System. That system does have a toward past, and we are not replacing the system. We are upgrading the functionality that we have. This has really been the first time that we've had the opportunity to dig in. It was a COT solution that was due to vendor performance that was then turned over to the county as part of the agreement. So the county has responsibility for maintenance and upgrades of the system. It's been in a security hold for a couple of years now, and we are taking a look, digging in and looking at those security problems that we have and resolving them in the system as it exists. There is a ton of functionality in the existing system. We just need to make it more secure. So it's off on an island by itself, so it's not disruptive and it can't be broken. And we are fixing that so we can introduce some of the functionality that's there that law enforcement and corrections does not have access to today. So that's what we're currently working on, instead of, there really isn't a system out in the marketplace that we've seen to date that this system combines both arrest and booking. And that's the uniqueness of this system, is the combination of those two functionalities in one system. And there's nothing in the marketplace today that does that.
Thank you. And Director Stevenson, I know you've joined us today and couldn't be with us the last time. I didn't know if you wanted to address any of the issues we're talking about today. Touch your mic, yeah.
Good morning, Director Stevenson. Good morning, everyone. I'm quite familiar with the torrid past that Ms. Henderson describes over the years. I was part of some of those earlier meetings as we went towards the system. I understand that we want to look at more security. We have to get some security upgrades that keep it current. But there's more functionality that I do believe that we should seek out, things that tie us together, because I know the demographics are very, very important to all of us in explaining to the general public of the work we do and meeting all those goals and those performance measures.
Great. And one question I have is, as we move forward with this, what is the timeline?
You guys are going to let me take this one, right?
Yeah. Ms. Anderson, it goes to you. Yeah.
I'll take
Why
this.
not?
So the end of this calendar year, the system should be available, secure, and ready to use.
Great. And I believe the request is for $365,000. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And that should help you do everything.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Do my colleagues have any questions on this?
You know, I just want.
Yeah. Councilmember
First, I
Katz.
just want to thank Ms. Farag and Dr. Teregas for his help, and Lisa Henderson, who we know from a couple different hats. She's a Gaithersburg City Council member as well. But this has been dragging on, as Director Stevenson said, forever and 3 days. And hopefully we can finally get to the right spot. And then, you know, if there's nothing on the shelf anyplace, maybe we should go in that line of work and sell one of these things. So, anyway, thanks.
All right, not seeing any other comments. We appreciate you answering these other questions that we had from our first session, and the joint committees will recommend this to the full council for the CIP. So anyway, thank you again. I know you're all very busy, and I appreciate you being here this morning. And with that, Government Operations, Fiscal Policy, and Joint Committee session with Public Safety is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.